श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय आविराविर्मयेधि। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। हरिः ओम्। May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor. May our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment and not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. We are studying Panchadashi. Panchadashi 5 and 10. A book containing 15 chapters is called Panchadashi. Vidyaranya has written this, and it is following the path of knowledge. Following the path of knowledge. Following the path of knowledge is easy because it is cash down payment here and now, not after the death, or somewhere God is sitting mysterious place, what will happen, where to go and what to do. All these things we don't know, but here we can find out. As Sri Ramakrishna says that or in Hindi it is said, Hath Kangan to Arshi kya. When the indwelling divine is present within us, then what is the need of searching here and there? We have to search where it lies. So Vedanta empowers us with some knowledge by which we can get it here and now, not somewhere else. For example, where to find God? If I say God is touching you all the time and He's sustaining you, He's holding you, people might doubt. But then I ask, where are you sitting? Sitting on a chair, maybe some other place. But where is that chair? On the ground. Where is that ground? On the earth. Where is that earth? It's in the universe. Who is holding the universe? It's God. Even from that standpoint also. So, only thing we need to understand, if we can understand properly, then the ignorance is removed. Badha. The technical term is badha. We see magic and we are surprised to see how it happens. But if we know the trick, then it is no surprise at all. Similarly, we see various mirage. When we drive, we see water at distance. In the beginning, one may be confused, but later he can understand that it is only misunderstanding. Similarly, Vedanta says, we have already studied in Fifth chapter, that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahman. Everything is Brahman. Everything, everything. Yumam Pashyati Sarvatram, Gita says, he who sees me everywhere and everything is in me. I do not deny him, neither he denies me. Yumam pashyati sarvatram, sarvam chamai pashyati, tasya ham na pranashyami, sachamena pranashyati. So this knowledge, how we can get this knowledge? Many things are not, say, the corner is dark, we cannot see. What we need to bring? A lamp. Simple. Now here we have to lit a lamp who is ingrained within us. Say, suppose we are sitting here, and if someone switches the light, then we cannot see each other. So through light we see, we experience everything that we experience. But if you ask a person to make a list, whatever is in front of him, he'll make everything, but he'll miss light. Similarly, we have a light. The light is of our self-awareness. We see the whole world, all the objects of this world, but we don't see this light of self-awareness. Vedanta teaches us how to be aware of this awareness. So this is the knowledge. So how to be aware of our awareness is the knowledge. Now Vedanta devised, or Vedanta discovered, various ways. Now here, what is this knowledge? Chitradeep, lamp of the picture. We know we paint a picture. Now what happens? We see differences. In the beginning, that we have already discussed, that we have a canvas, then we make its form stable, and then we paint outline, and then we fill up colors. So this way we make. And then we see varieties. But if you think about it, there is one canvas behind. We have to find out that canvas. There is no denial. Let us see varieties. Let us see differences. But let us empower us to see that unity, that awareness of the self on which all are painted. Whatever we see is painting of the same self, painting on the same self. What we need to see, that awareness on which everything is painted. So here we have already covered the example is given, and after that we have just let us read a little so that we come to the context. On consciousness are superimposed various forms. In each of them, there is a reflection. That means a special function of consciousness. So what is happening? Like this light is lighting there. At the same time, it is shining others also. Similarly, what is this awareness, this shine within us, that also illuminating all other objects? So, unconsciousness are superimposed various forms. In each of them, there is a reflection. So, a special function of consciousness. Reflecting on what? It is reflecting on the same. But we can say it's that on the desire. I want to see something. I want to experience something. On this desire, awareness is reflecting and creating various objects. They are known as the jivas and are subject to the process of birth and death. Now, ignorant people imagine that the colors representing the clothes of the figures are real clothes. See, like painting, the example was given, the painting. On that painting, so you can see here. In the painting, clothes are painted. But if we have analyzed properly, then we can see the canvas on which the paper color was given, or the color for the clothes are given. So the clothes of the figures are real clothes. Ignorant people think about this. As real as the canvas on which the picture is superimposed. But if we can try to understand, it is the canvas itself that looks like that cloth. Similarly, the ignorant imagine that the transmigrations of the jivas undergone by the Supreme Spirit, the substratum on which the jivas are superimposed. So we also think that, yeah, I was young, I am now old, after that I'll die and will go and take birth somewhere. All this understanding is nothing else but our imagination. In fact, we are never born and will not die. Ajoham. All these are the various visions that is coming in front of us. It is floating on our consciousness. And we identify with that. And we think that we are that, not our real self. Example is given another. Just as the hills, etc., in a picture are not painted as dressed in clothes. The hill is different, clothes are different. So the inert objects like earth are not endowed with the reflection of consciousness. So whatever we see, we divide it into two. One is animated, one is not animated, but actually it is on the same canvas. Canvas is the same. So the canvas, the consciousness alone is real. Other beings seem to be real. But what happens? We think other things are real. This world is real. These are real. How can you see it is not there? But it is only a sensation. When I'm touching this, then only it has sensation of reality. When I see it, then only it has sensation of reality. But same world disappears in our dream. And dream also disappears in our dreamless state. If it is concrete, then it should not disappear. The definition of truth is that it is trikala abadhita. In three times, in the past, present, and future, it should not be obliterated. But every day we see this whole world dissolves as it were, and it vanishes as it were. And we then see a dream world. As dream world vanishes when we are awake, similarly, this world also vanishes when we are in dream. And world also vanishes when we are in dreamless state. So these experiences are coming and going. We are untouched. We are untouched. So samsarah paramarthoyam sallagna swatma vastuni iti bhranti ravidya. Now why it is happening? It is happening because of nescience, avidya. Avidya means not knowing things correctly. We know something. I am there. This world is there. So many things are there. What is happening in politics? What is happening in a market? All these hundreds and thousands of things we know. What we don't know, it's reality. Or we presume not to know. We know, but we presume that we don't know. So this is called avidya, not knowing things correctly. So here definition is given: the confusion of considering this transmigration with the attendant pain and pleasure as real and affecting the Supreme Self is called nescience. So what is this? I see, like when my head or stomach aches, it is real. How you can say it is not real? Yes, that is because the effect of avidya, not knowing things correctly. Yes. When we are one with the body-mind complex, then it appears like that. You know, a mother used to cry because his only son got cancer and it was terminating cancer. Very soon he will die. The whole day mother is chanting God's name and doing puja and this, that. But same mother, when she goes to sleep, she sleeps very well. How is it possible? In the even same person who is suffering from pain, but he goes to sleep. How he can suffer if pain is real? The pain is also psychosomatic. It depends on our desire. Swami Turiyananda had a carbuncle. Carbuncle means like many mouth abscess. And he was in Varanasi. So doctor decided to operate on him. So they wanted to administer anesthesia. He said, I don't need anesthesia, just you tell me when you start. So they operated. Before that, they informed him that now we are going to operate you. And it was all the time, it was okay because he withdrew from his mind from that section. And the next day when they came and they were conversing, and all of a sudden they started opening the dressing and to change the dress. And he cried. Then doctor said, sir, yesterday you did not, I mean, he was pained. He said, yesterday you told me, so I withdrew my mind from that place. But today you did not inform me and you started dressing. So please inform me whenever you want to dress that wound. Is it only possible for such a jnani, the person who is realized self? No, this happens with us also. We identify with pain of others. Suppose you are walking and you see a dog and dog is suffering because of something. Maybe some accident happened. Maybe another dog bit the other dog. And it's painful. By seeing, you are affected. And you also can see maybe a person has met with an accident and maybe he lost a leg, but he's behaving all right. And through modern medical science, we can just understand that what happens if we can block that sensation, then we are not affected. So it is possible that we can block that sensation, and that can be done through knowledge also. So now let us go back to our text. Atma bhasasya jivasya samsaro na atma vastuna iti bodho bhaved vidya labhyate asau vicharanat. It is the jiva, a reflection of the self, which is affected by the pain and pleasure of this transmigratory life, but not the real self. This understanding is called knowledge. It is achieved through discrimination. So first he defined what is avidya, and now he defined what is vidya. Sri Ramakrishna said, to know one is knowledge. To know many is ignorance. But here avidya is a technical term. That means we know a little, a part, but we don't know another part. So what is that? The confusion. The confusion of considering this transmigration with the attendant pain. So who suffers actually? In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said, Ichha, Dvesha, Sukham, Dukkham, Sanghatas, Chetana, Dhriti. He defined two things. One is called Kshetra, field. And one is the knower of field. So this body-mind complex is field, is a field. And knower of this field is called the Kshetragya. Now, after saying that, he said, know for certain that in all kshetras, all knower of self, it is me and me alone. One light, one awareness, one Satchitananda, Sat, existence, awareness, and bliss absolute, one bliss absolute, is shining in all being. We are to find out that shining, that nature which is not obliterated in any moment. So this, the confusion of considering this, then after that, he enumerated what are those 10 senses, 5 sense objects, 5 sense of organs, 5 organs of action, 5 sense objects, and 5 elements. And mind, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. So this 24 cosmic principle, and ichha, desire, dvesh, aversion, sukham, dukkham. That means when something comes closer to us, we feel happy. And something which is not good, when come closer, then we are not happy. Or something is good, when it goes away from us, then we are not happy. But if something bad goes away from us, then we are unhappy, happy. So this happiness and chetana, that means consciousness reflected, chetana, and dhriti, holding power, these are also kshetra. So this experience is because we took a form, what we call jiva. Jiva means all accumulated impressions that we are carrying with us. Through knowledge, that accumulated samskaras, accumulated impressions can be burnt off through knowledge. So what is here? The next he says, Atma bhasasya jivasya samsaran atma vasana. This is not the self. This is also jada, material. Like world, it's a sensation of world. Similarly, this sensation of that I am body-mind complex, this is also a matter. Therefore, it is not the self. And this awareness, this bodha, this wisdom, bhavit vidya, that's called knowledge. Labhante aso vicharanat. And this can be achieved through proper consideration, proper study, through discrimination. So one has to discriminate, and it's a constant process. It's not that we do sometimes and then we let it go. No. This is the, we can say like you are driving. When you are driving, you cannot walk. So that means what? When you are to discriminate, you have to discriminate threadbare. And whatever is not real, you have to throw it out. Throw it out from your mind, of course. And this is Atma bhasya jivasya. It is the jiva, a reflection of the self, which is affected by the pain and pleasure of this transmigratory life, but not the real self. So this we have to consider all the time, that I am not affected by this. It's not like Sri Ramakrishna said, Katani khochani ami kha. There is no cut, there is no thorn, and I am kha. While happening all this, one should be able to say, I am not affected. I am Soham. Swami Vivekananda, when he was in Uttarakhand near Haridwar, he saw a tiger was taking a Swami in its mouth, and Swami was chanting, Soham, Soham, I am he, I am he, I am he. One can argue. I also used to think, okay, he was saying, I am he, but tiger was eating. Tiger was eating the frame only. But if he is true to his awareness, then nothing can harm or nothing can befall which is harmful to him. So this is the jiva, a reflection. And last time we had one question. Is it that we have to close our eyes all the time? No. We have to grow this awareness that I am not the self. I am not the body-mind complex. I am not the desires. All these are product of ignorance. But this conviction should be strong enough to counter the sensation that we feel it is real. So this conviction will come when we repeatedly consider this. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. First, we must hear this again and again, 1,000 times. And after that, we have to cogitate. Is it right? What is being said? Is it logical? And if it is logical, then we have to retain it. And we have to live that idea. So this is the challenge. Though it is here and now, but this is the challenge. Then one should be established in the self and not to be affected by anything. So we go forward. Any question up to this? Okay, no question. Okay, we'll go forward. Sada vicharasya tas न सदा विचारेत तस्मात् जगत जीव परात्मनः जीव भाव जगत भाव बाधे स्वात्मैव हि शिष्यते. What is being said? Therefore, concluding, therefore one should always inquire into the nature of the world, the individual self, and the supreme self. When the ideas of jivas and jagat, that means world, are negated, the pure Atman alone remains. Now let us go back to our example. Example was a canvas. On that canvas, various things are painted. We can say, take this screen, television screen, or this computer screen, and various things are depicted there. But only those are impulses that is being displayed. And they come and they go. Only the screen is remaining all the time. Therefore, one should understand that this experience that we are having, pain, pleasure, happiness, or unhappiness, all these are apparent. It is not real. The experiencer is real. The observer is real. That one has to contemplate all the time. Therefore, one should always inquire into the nature of the world, the individual self, and the supreme self. When the ideas of jivas, when the idea of jiva and jagat, jiva means this identity that I am so and so, I belong to so and so family, my father is so and so. All this apparent identity is called jiva, with all accumulated impressions of past lives. Because when we identify, then all accumulation comes. In that picture, it's like a cloth is painted. So when the ideas of jiva and jagat, jagat means this whole world, whatever we experience, we see something, we hear something, we taste something, we smell something, and we what are the things? Here, seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling, whatever we smell. This is our world. But these experiences are temporary. And therefore, it is not our real nature. All the time, we need to contemplate this idea that I am the self and nothing else. Therefore, one should always inquire into the nature of the world, the individual self, and the supreme self. When the ideas of jiva and jagat world are negated, the pure Atman alone remains. So here badha. Badha means it falsifies itself. It falsifies. Okay, now we go to the next 13. Now, what is the meaning of badha? Na asti pratitayor badha, kintu mithyannvaya nishchaya. No chet sushuptir murchado muchyatayat muchayat ayatnatah janah. By negation, it does not mean that the world and jiva. What is world? Whatever we see, taste, smell, these are jagat. And what is jiva? The idea of I am. An idea with all our accumulated impressions. So this is jiva. Cease to be perceptible to the senses. So then this idea will not be perceived. This Jagat, with all its attractions, will vanish. Even now, many things we don't experience. Now, what is happening in Middle East? If you don't update yourself, you're not aware of it. You can argue, even if I am not aware, is it not existing there? If you are not aware, how does it matter? Say, some stars are crumbling. You're not aware of it. And therefore, how does it matter whether it is crumbling or not? Whatever comes to our awareness, we perceive those, and either we suffer or we are happy or we are miserable because of that. So all these impressions, how you can certify that those are existing? Well, now scientists are coming to that. Observer is the factor. They experimented with double slit, quantum physics. Of course, I don't know much or nothing. I don't know anything. But this I understand, that when you have observer, then it behaves like waves. But otherwise, it is like particle. So this behavior, the difference of behavior is because of observer factor. So when you observe, then only it exists. When you don't observe what is happening, how does it matter? And it doesn't relate to you, and it cannot be predicted also. When you observe, then only it has existence. So let us go back. By negation, it does not mean that the world and jiva cease to be perceptible to the senses. It means the conviction of their illusory character, that they are not real. Otherwise, people would be automatically liberated in deep sleep or in a faint. So this does not automatically, because that ingrained ignorance is existing in a person. So when he goes to deep sleep, he comes back as it is. As Swami Vivekananda very nicely said, a fool goes to deep sleep, comes back as the same fool. But a fool goes to samadhi and he returned as a wise man. So it is because of the difference where the negation is complete. Negation of existence of this world and jiva. So, na asti iti tayoh badha. That when this exists, now what happens? We understand logically. It's called paroksha gyan. Through logically we understand. But aparoksha gyan is that by that which we know directly. What we know directly? You exist. You don't need anybody's certificate for that you exist. If I say you don't exist, you'll dispute with me. Swami, I exist, I know. So don't worry, don't teach me. So this is called conviction. But whatever other things that come and go, that is not the real nature. And it's a time comes when we see this world as unreal. Even this also we can see. If I ask you, can you see the shadow? You say yes. Can you see darkness? Yes. But there is no darkness. We can say less light. Nothing exists as darkness. Like rather, let us take the technical term as Sri Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. What he said? Nasato vidyate bhava. Asat, which is non-existent, does not exist. Nasato vidyate bhavaha. Nabhavo vidyate satah. And sat never cease to exist. Whatever is existing, all the time existing. But what happens to us? We are the self. But we think that we are going to die. So this knowledge is not real knowledge. Sat never ceases to exist. And asat never exists. And this, as Sri Krishna says, when the rishis, the seers of this, saw through and they found this, nasato vidyate bhava, nabhava vidyate sata, ubhayorapi drishtantas tanayos tattvadarshvi. The knower of such ideas, they have gone through the whole experience and they explained this. So what happens for us? Whatever does not exist, we identify with that. And what exists, we don't identify. This is called avidya. Tasmin tad buddhi. Whatever it is not, we see that. Atasmin tad buddhi. So when there is, we can say light, less light, but there is no darkness as such. There is no existence of darkness, but we see. And if you ask people, they'll dispute with you, and you cannot say anything there. But if you are really contemplative, then you can understand this. Light alone exists. Awareness alone exists. Non-awareness does not exist. But if we see that, that means we are still in ignorance. Okay, we go forward. Paramatma avasheshopi tat satyatva vinishchayah na jagat vismritihi no chet jivan muktir na sambhavit. So he gave an example that it is not that someone goes to deep sleep and he gets illumination. No. Why it is not? Example is now what he says. The Supreme Self alone remains also means a conviction about its reality and not non-perceiving of the world. When you see it, at that time also you know that it does not exist. If you have conviction, then you are not afraid of anybody. When you know that you exist and nobody can obliterate it, even death cannot obliterate this conviction, then one goes beyond death. So the Supreme Self alone also remains a conviction about its reality and not non-perceiving of the world. Sometimes when we faint, that time also we don't see this world. Does it mean that this world disappeared from that standpoint? No. While walking in this world, we see this world does not exist. It is God and God alone, self and self alone who exist. This conviction, that is required. And why it is so? Because otherwise a person who has fainted, temporarily he does not see this world. But when he is awake, then again he sees this world. But in the case of Jivan Mukta, what we find? While living as one of us, we find he is free. He is not bound with anything. So this state means, though he is behaving like one of us, but he knows that this world does not exist in that sense as we experience. He knows it is God and God alone who exists. So this is called Jivan Mukta. The Supreme Self alone remains also means a conviction about its reality and not non-perceiving the world. Otherwise, there would be no such thing as liberation in life, Jivan Mukti. Okay, now we go to the next. Now, Vidya, Paroksha, Parokshacha, Parokshacha, Aparoksheti Vidya. So, two kinds of Vidya. One is Paroksha. Paroksha means depending on senses. I am seeing you because I have eyes. If a person is blind, cannot see. Say, if I remove my specs, then I cannot see something. So that means I am depending on something else. We depend on our avenues of knowledge. So that is called paroksha. What is aparoksha? Direct. Direct means we do not need anything else. It is self-evident. It is experienced by myself. As I gave example, our awareness, our existence. We don't need any certificate from anyone that I exist. This existence is self-awareness. It is called direct knowledge. Paroksha cha aparoksha iti vidya dvidha vicharja. Tatra aparoksha vidyapto vicharoyam samapyate. It will end after gaining aparoksha awareness. Aparoksha means direct knowledge. No need of anybody's certificate. No need of somebody else will come and bless you. It's all the time. You will be aware of that. The knowledge arising from discrimination is of two kinds, indirect and direct. This process of discrimination ends in the achievement of the direct knowledge. So this will end when we have realized and we do not have any kind of doubt or asambhavana, impossibilities, or opposing thoughts. It's impossible. And this can be achieved through knowledge. Okay, we go forward. Asti brahmeti chedveda paraksha jnanam eva tat aham brahmeti chedveda sakshatkara uchyate. The knowledge that Brahman is indirect. Asti. Somebody says, yes, there is a government. There is a president. So this is indirect knowledge. But when you see president, then it's direct knowledge. So this is, this example. Here seeing not from seeing outside. It is the inside realization. When you will realize that I exist, I am aware of my existence, and I am absolutely blissful. So this is not through any other means, but direct experience. The knowledge that Brahman is indirect. The knowledge that I am Brahman is direct. So this is taken from Taittiriya Upanishad. Now we go to the next. Tat Shakshatkar Siddhyartham Atma Tattvam Vivichyate. Yena Ayam Sarva Samsarat Sadhya Eva Vimuchyate. We now consider that the nature of the self with a view to having its direct experience, through which the jiva is immediately liberated from all worldly fetters. And there is no need of any means. It should be understood logically, it should be contemplated continuously, and one should discriminate the opposing factors and renounce once for all. So we go to the next. Kutastha Brahma Jivesha Jiva Esha Vittevam Chit Chaturvidha Ghatakasha Mahakashu Jalakasha Bhrakhe Yatha. The self as consciousness, absolute, is spoken of as Kutastha. The self, Kutastha means unchanging, anvil, unchanging. So, like anvil, you make other things, you shape other things, but anvil never changes. On which, I mean the canvas, you can change things. On the screen, you can see so many things, but screen is not changing. Same thing. Kutastha. Kutastha Brahma Jiva. जीवेशो इति एवं चित चतुर्विधा यथा घटाकाश महाकाश जलाकाश अब जलाकाश अभ्रथ मेघाकाश. So Kutastha Chaitanya, then Brahma Chaitanya, Jiva Chaitanya, and Ishwar Chaitanya. This Chaitanya Chariprakar. Now Akasha. Here space is taken. Is four kinds. Just to give an example. The self as consciousness absolute is spoken of as Kutastha. Brahman, Jiva, and Ishvara, just as for instance Akasha, ether, is called, so Ghatakasha. Ghatakasha means, say within this house, this is Grihakasha. Akasha is the same, but we say it is covered by this house, so it is warm. So Grihakasha. And then called all embracing Akasha. That means outside Akasha. The ether is called. So water is there. And also, say, suppose this. You see a water body. Water body is in Akasha. Space, in space. And in that water, you see reflection of space. That reflection also is in Akasha. So four kinds of, one is called like Mahakasha, that means outside space. One is limiting Akasha, like here in this house. And one is in that Akasha, say water. So water, that is also in Akasha, in space. And in that, if there is something reflected, that is also Akasha. Okay, so we let us. The self as consciousness absolute is spoken of the Kutastha, Brahman, Jiva, and Ishvara, just as for instance Akasha. Ether is called pot Akasha, all embracing Akasha, Akasha conditioned by water, and Akasha conditioned by a cloud. So these are four kinds of Akasha is the same, but apparent differences. Ghatakasha, Mahakashu, Jalakashu, Abhrake, Yatha. So this is four kinds of. So next, now it is almost over. So we'll take up in the next class. But we'll break for the Christmas. After that, we'll meet in January. So here one may think that it's very abstract, but actually, if we try, then we can understand it is not that abstract, something which beyond understanding. Rather, some science subject is more abstruse. Even the many computer things are more complicated. Rather, this is easier. Simple examples are taken, are given. Only thing one should sustain. Akshay, what do you think?
Yeah, I had a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, if I am not aware of something, but somebody else may be aware, so it will exist.
Okay. You are science student, right? So I gave example of double slit experiment. Okay. Now let us think. You are dreaming. You are dreaming. In your dream, Mr. A is existing. So your friend. What is your bosom friend's name? Or say like dream in your dream you have seen a friend. If that friend is thinking something that it exists, where is that existence? In your dream. You are dreaming that your friend is thinking there is something else existing. Could you understand this? Similarly, you are awareness. You have conception of this world. And Mr. Shank is here. And I am thinking Mr. Shank is thinking this, that exists. So everything is in my consciousness. Let me repeat if it is not clear. You are dreaming. In your dream, you see a friend. And that's also in dream. And your friend is thinking, he's also saying to you, there is a tiger there. So all these are imagined in your dream. So now let us take this example. I am thinking Akshay is sitting in Delhi. And now he has so many other things So all these are existing in my thinking. So whether that, how does it matter if somebody knows something else? All these, the whole gamut is in your thinking that these are existing. But the reality is you alone exist. All other things are trailing or are moving in front of you. Have you understood this?
Yes.
Good, thank you. So even if, say, suppose you are, say, there in Delhi, and that time now it is day. And now it is, what is the time now? 8:35. So you have 9:05, right? Daytime. So all
And
this is in my consciousness. For Akshay, I'm thinking, for Akshay it is daytime, 9 o'clock. He must have finished his breakfast. Now he has to go and meet a friend. So all these are in my consciousness. Okay. So even if somebody thinks that this world exists or something which you don't know, he knows. So all the whole gamut is in your awareness. Your awareness is the only reality. My awareness is only reality. On that awareness, this whole existence is floating. Even the whole universe. Whole universe. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Shining this, everything shines. Shining this self, everything shines. So that shine we are to identify. And it is a real nature. It's not that something outside. It is direct knowledge. This knowledge we are to gain. Okay. Very good. Your question is very nice.
Swami,
Eh?
Swami, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
This verse 14 seems to imply that after Nirvikalpa Samadhi, one comes down from it and then sees the world. Sees the world still exists.
No,
so
no,
that,
no, no. After Nirvikalpa, your conception. This is also your conception. Now, can you see? Okay, now see. I gave example. Example of, or here, it is taken here. On the screen, so many things are painted and it vanishes also. All those came and went away. That is not real. The screen alone is real. Awareness alone is real. Can you see this?
yes, but my question is not
No,
that
no,
so
just a minute, just a minute. It does not require Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You can understand this through your logical and common sense. So this to be practiced. Religion is not something which is a theory. Nirvikalpa Samadhi, something there. When this awareness is such matured, then only you'll understand this.
my question though is
Yeah, go ahead.
he's saying that otherwise there's no such thing as liberation in life. He seems to imply that one can go on living where Sri Ramakrishna says it's only 21 days.
That means you have not understood. Okay, let me go there. 7, 6. That is why I repeated that one. What he said, just give me a minute. Let me find
Verse
it.
14.
Yeah, just a minute, because I. You know what the point was? One should be totally aware of that. Then this world does not have any sense of truth in it. How we can understand this? If a person goes to sleep, this world disappears, again comes back. Or a person faints, or person under anesthesia, this world does not exist for him, but it comes back. When it comes back, it means he knows this world is real and I am unreal. But in the case of Jivan Mukta, he knows I alone am real. This world does not exist. And he achieved this through his robust common sense. Means here, deep contemplation. So, what he is saying, let me repeat that one. The Supreme Self alone remains also means a conviction about its reality and not non-perceiving of the world. The conviction must be achieved. When you achieve that conviction, that means you will understand that it is the only reality. It is not seeing or not seeing this world.
So Swami,
yeah.
Swami Vivekananda compares it to a mirage, but my question is more that one knows it's a mirage, but my question is not about that. My question is the 21 days that Sri Ramakrishna says that one will, once one has the liberation in life, one will live 21 days.
21 days means he is so steeped in that reality, this world disappears totally. And his body also falls off. He's so, even he cannot, that system cannot retain him anymore. So this, you'll understand it if you go through the text carefully. This is not regarding anything else. What he is saying, that one must be convinced, or he must have conviction. So much so, this world, even if you perceive, does not affect you. Tasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyati. That tam viddha dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sangitam. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan said that what is yoga? Simple. Dukkha sanyoga viyoga. As of now, we have invited many dukkhas. Oh bull, why you are going that way? Come and hit me. Yeah, we invite. Say, we have no connection with politics. We have no connection with anything else. But we invite, and then we fight. So this is called, inviting trouble. We invite trouble.
Embrace it.
Embrace it. So here one should be detached. So dukkha sanyoga viyoga. So something is added. When it is detached, that is called yoga. Dukkha sanyoga viyoga is yoga. And he said, tasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. If you are established in that, then nothing can disturb you. That means what? You are so convinced. Then even this body falls off. You are not affected by it. So this conviction, it is not seeing this world or not seeing this world. In Jivan Mukti Avastha, one may see this world, but he knows it's only apparent. Like a child, like a professor comes to a KG class and he behaves like a child, but he knows that's not my real nature. A person acts like a beggar. He may be a millionaire. His acting as beggar, he knows that it's my acting only. It's not reality. So he does it fancifully. So a person who is realized, means Jivan Mukta, he is free while living. He knows that all other, if I am seeing also, it is not happening. It is not me. It is not connected with me. But the ordinary fellow, even if this world disappears, and when he comes back, he understands this was real. You know why he insulted me? He's real. So this reality, sense of reality will go away. Okay. So you read it, it will be clear. Okay. Very good. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tassat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. And of course, we'll go forward. You know, like there are this example, Gatakash, Mahakash. So this various things will be discussed. Okay, thank you very much. Jai Ma.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste, namaste.